Folks, welcome back to TIMBERBORN, and they're built because of a game update or a experimental branch update. Had to pull smart power out for now, so you can't see how much power these things hold. I managed to get them built before the update. It is over 1,000,000 HP that is stored in all of these, so we're good for power storage for a while. Actually going to delete these guys now. I don't think we need these. Although it might take us under the 1,000,000. So maybe I'll leave it until we get smart power installed. While this was all getting built, I hooked this set of windmills up to the water wheels so that we've got a bit more power generation. So that's hooked in. And while I was letting it run, I've done a bunch more automation. So if I just do show rules, the plank, and I built some more plank workshops and gear workshops because I was running short of some key resources. So a lot of the buildings now have rules something like this in them. So if our capacity is greater than 95% of our district capacity, if our stock is greater than 95% of our capacity, they pause. If it's less than 80%, they resume. And I've done that for most of the buildings. Some of them where the number's tiny, I've just put the number in because I believe the district capacity doesn't take account of the building capacity. So for some of the small numbers, I've just put a number in. What else have I done? I've put a tank in for fuel. That's mostly it. Because of the update happening in really yesterday, and then there's been a hotfix this morning, I've had to pull out a few mods. Smart power has gone. Unstuckify has gone, and the more tunnels has gone. I'm not using the more tunnels on here, but that's gone. I was using it on my other save. I'm sure they'll come back as they get updated. And that's one of the reasons that I'm limiting the mods that I'm using, because I can just take out things like smart power and unstuckify, and it doesn't really matter. So yeah. What are we going to do today? There's a couple of things that I want to get working on. The first one, with bots, I've realized we need catalysts. To make catalyst, we need maple syrup. To get maple syrup, we need maple trees. And also, I would like to move, there was a suggestion to move the pine forest as well. So we're going to do that. We're going to set up a new tree area. That would be a forest, wouldn't it? Yeah. And I thought what we could do is dynamite down this area so it's the correct level, because we shouldn't have bad water coming through here now, and set up a maple and pine forest. It might not be big enough ultimately, but it'll get us a start. So I'm going to lay in the explosives, and then we'll worry about how we access it. So single, double, and we'll put in another zipline station to get the beavers over here more quicker. Yeah, so we'll knock all of that out. That'll give us a reasonable area. And at the moment, we do have a path available to do something like that. That will get all of that. And I could just come down there, get rid of one of those, come down there, pathage along there. That will get that path out to there, and then out to there, and to there. That should get all of that built. And then if we want to be smart, we do. want to be smart. Let's come in here and let's pre-place this. We can. Awesome. Now it would probably be better to have a connection coming from here. But for now, at least it's in. So we'll let that run. They can get working on all of that. I'm going to slightly prioritize those. And then we're going to come over here. And we're going to rip out all of this that they've got built. Because between you, you have come up with a brilliant idea. So I had mentioned that one of you suggested preserving the waterfall. And there was the suggestion to use the mountain as water storage. And I've come up with a plan for this. Now, automation doesn't quite let me do what one of you suggested yet. And you really need smart power to make it work properly altogether. But what I'm going to do is do part of it. So we have access up here. We're possibly going to need some more access. I actually think that it might be worth us getting a zip line up here. I really need a hub. I really need a zip line hub. Can I could get rid of those small barrels. We really don't need those. And I could have bought one onto the back of that, couldn't I? That would give us a few more connections. Now, if I delete you, grab you, that should be... No, I need them the other way around, don't I, if I want them to connect like that. So what we're going to have to do is add a connection like that. That does buy us one connection. Or does it? No, it doesn't really. Unless, bear with me, folks. Bear with me. We do. I don't know if this is going to be high enough. Might be ugly, but ugly's fine. Do that, and then we do you, yep, and then we do add connection to there, and then we add a connection out to there. So let's prioritize the build of all of that, and then that will allow us to add connection. Too far, no. That's fine. We can account for that with a pylon. There. There. And let's prioritize getting that built. So that will get all of that in. And then what we need to do. And then. Right, I want to have this set back a little bit. So we're going to come over here, we're going to put in some floodgates. Now some of this might not all be necessary, but this is how I've planned it out in my head. So bear with me again. Because what I want is to try and preserve this view. Yeah, yes, we have a zipline station up there, but I want to try and preserve the view of the waterfall. So we're going to set back the floodgates a little bit. We will need some access. We might need more access, and we actually have a very convenient point here as well. like they planned for the fact that we wanted to do something like this. So we're going to put that there. We're then going to come in with some double explosives here. We'll go for 4. That'll work. And what we're going to do is get ourselves a way into the mountain. So, and it's going to take a while probably. This is not going to be a quick job. And up here, we are going to need storage for explosives and extract. Explosives, obtain. Extract, obtain. We're going to need storage for planks. We have barely any of at the moment from that previous massive building project because we are going to be wanting to tunnel. Yep. Let's also prioritize those. Ready. So yeah, the other suggestion was that. So what we're going to try and do is control it in such a way that if the reservoir is empty, water is being diverted into the reservoir to fill it and then comes back over here. But the other suggestion was that if the gravity batteries were empty, we divert water through here, or if the reservoir was full, we send some water through here. Now the problem is that currently automation doesn't have anything for measure of power stored. So these can't generate a signal, and there is no global for power stored. So we can't do that bit, but that's fine. The other thing that I'm going to do, so over here, someone suggested that we should put in some gravity batteries to help with powering the aquifer drill, which I thought was a good idea as well, and I have started to put in. I'm only putting one in because it'll be fine. And what I want to do is link this into here as well. So we'll tunnel this out and tunnel it across to here. We might have to block this up a little bit, but it doesn't matter because it's blocked up now anyway. And so this will create a big underground water store, and the aquifer will then help fill this. That's the grand plan. That's the grand plan. Yeah. And because we have our explosive factory set to work off of capacity, because we've increased the capacity, they will start making more, which is cool. And obviously we're using some of it, but that's fine. That's fine. And yeah, we might need to build a few of these around. But so I have a couple of things I want to get done, or start getting. I don't think we're going to get this done in this video. It's going to be a big project because there's a lot we need to carve out. We could go get this, but it's 200 science and we have 74,000 science. So, you know, our bot part stuff is done. I need to set the rules up for this, and that's going to take a little while. So I'm going to pause it for now. And I'll probably do that either when I take a little break from recording, or I'll do it between videos because the rules are quite complex. So, yeah. Given we have quite a lot of builders, I think it would not be a crazy idea to actually think about getting in here as well. So let's start to think about that and what that would look like. There. There. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. That can be a straight. And that can be a straight one. And I mean, we might want some scaffolding actually. We might have wanted to have it so that we were more sensible with how we built the staircase, but we can always add more stairs. So what I'm thinking is we might actually want to carve this out quite a lot. But step numero uno, and we want to put some storage over here as well actually. And I guess step number one is maybe to deepen this. All right, let's actually really sound like my former teenage daughter. She's no longer a teenager, that's why I say former teenage. Let's. I said I didn't want it, and now I do. Let's get up here. We'll get that. We'll then remove this through the power of tunnels. And I think over here, we're also going to want extract, dynamite storage, plank storage, extract, obtain. I think I need to adjust dynamite, obtain, planks, obtain. My rules for production of extract, because those are set off of numbers at the moment. So that's that done. We really need to catch up on our planks and our gears. I think power grid-wise, we're actually okay for how much we're generating. So, I mean, until I set the walls up, I mean, I could just do it manually and just let them fill up the storage for each. That would work. That would do the job. All right, that's almost in. So that will get stuff reconnected, which is good. Speed things up a little bit. 14-day drought, which is fine. We don't seem to get as many brutal droughts at the moment. So as part of the update, they've added a new map as well. Which is cool. We can get rid of... Ooh, that's not connected. That's maybe why they're not using that. I'll leave that for now. Yeah, they're going to start using that now. Okay. Extract. Yeah, that's fine. They're going to keep at least 400 extract in stock. That's all right. That'll be okay. So one of the things I was worried about, which is going to go away with what planning, is when this is full and overflows. Obviously, it overflows into here. But the flow of the two bad water sources is enough to keep this pure. So it's okay. It's okay. Oh, we are out of scrap metal there. So we need to come down here. All right. Let's sort that because we've only got 85 scrap metal left. That's not great. That's going to be new priority job. You can go. I don't really want to get a mine up and running yet. I don't think we're in a position to be mining just yet. So let's get you there. You there. Grab a couple of those. Grab the rules from there. Run the path out to there. You can go away. You're going to be set to be emptied. We'll give these guys a storage for scrap metal. It's going to be a supply for scrap. And that needs to be a priority. That all needs to be a priority so they can get and build it, and then we'll reroute that down there. You can be deleted. Yep, that's going okay. They're in. So then what we want to do is H for boom. And then we want to come in here and tunnel that. And do we want to do I explode it out? Realistically, it's going to be our access in. So probably what we'll do is let's explode it out, and then we'll put in double floodgates there. These ones are going to be shut for now. Yep. All right, you're in. Each for boom. So this is storing a decent amount of power, which is nice. This is all going in slowly. That's fine. Mainly because we are just trying desperately to get more planks made. You're a relatively simple rule for now, which is as biofuel is now looking for fuel. The way I do these is set that, because I have to get the variables, and I'm not very good at remembering the variables at the moment. So we've got stock. We then want capacity, and I want a pause and a resume rule. So I do that, and then come in and grab the capacity. We go back in here. We then do so the first one is the pause rule. So if it's greater than capacity times 0.95, hit test. Make sure you haven't made any mistakes. Save. Then copy that. What I'm meant to do. Go in here. Highlight all of that. Paste. Control C, Control V if you're not sure. Delete that. Change that to a less than. Change that to 0.8. Test. Save. There we go. Save and close. And then because we're not using any biofuel at the moment, that will pause that and free up the beaver. So good stuff. And that's going to just be running really slowly at the moment because we're short of the resources it needs. Yeah, what I'll do is between videos again, I'll set the rules up for that. Bots are not a priority at the moment. And then I'll show you what they are. I think I could export them, so if anyone wanted, I could maybe share them. But I think that's something that the mod lets you do, is export your rules. So yeah, I'm having so much fun with this. It's such a cool mod. Right, H for boom. The other thing that we need to be thinking about is the top level of our reservoir, which is going to be not that level. So this is what. So if you're in the layer tool, you now get a thing which shows you you're in the layer tool. So I think that's going to be this level. So obviously we don't want to come out here where they'll see us. If I do, see, we've come too far there. You went too far. You just went too far. But what I want to do, what I need to do, because I want to essentially cut out a big chunk of this, so we're going to blast down both sides. And then tunnel the top and the bottom. Is the plan. So actually we don't want, do we? No, we're not going to do you. I'm not sure actually how far across we're going to go yet. But we're going to make this quite big. We're going to make this quite big. It's 7 wide. So it won't self-support. So we will need to leave the middle, actually. Need to bear that in mind. Or do I just make it 6 wide? Because you can do 3 from each side, can't it? Do I every 6 put in supports? We've got time to ponder that. I think I'm going to make it as uniform a shape as I can. So we'll do that. Actually, I'm saying I don't want to. I do actually need to tunnel the first bit, and then we explosive down. We do that. We do that. That will let me check that we've not come too far. No, we're all good. Awesome. That's that bit. And then going to need to come around the back of this. No, too far. So we need to cut a row off of that. And take a couple of rows off just to be safe. Need to go round this, which is going to be a bit of a faff. And we want to backfill some of this. Or, you know, build up around it. That's what I mean. Come on. No. And then we're going to have to come around this way, I guess. Go both sides of it, I suppose. That. Yeah. Well, there. And that'll do for now, I think. And then I want to fill you in. And you... No, I need to do this the other way. Let's delete that. Delete that. Delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. You, you, you. All of you, you, all of you, all of you. And with a little bit more, that doesn't look as bad. Explosives. So this, actually I need to work out which level we need to go down to. So I want to come in here. And we're going to cut out, how long is this? 6. So do that, and I want to take out the middle 2. We're going to put in 2 sluice gates in the bottom. Now we need a staircase there. Not going to detonate those yet, just in case we end up going too deep. Yes. Do that. And that. And they could think about doing some of those. H for boom. Then we're going to tunnel into there. And they can get to both of those. Awesome. How are you guys doing? You are good. So H for boom. Ladder. Demolish. H for boom. They've got all of those in. Awesome. That's in. So if we do that. That. And not gonna work, is it? Didn't design this very well. I know. I know he didn't. Does he even know what he's doing? No, not really. He doesn't plan stuff very well. Right, and then we come down here. Delete those. Put in sluice gates. I have actually done a little bit of planning for this. They're going to be set to close, not that it really matters. And then you go all the way down to here. Tunnel, and we're just going to go back here and across here. Just as a reference point. And it looks like I'm really struggling with the layer tool today since they updated the game. Yeah. Too far. Okay. Delete you. Really struggling with delay at all today. Okay. Right. So if we go down, I think that works. Right. H for boom. Yes. Awesome. That's as far. We go down one more, I guess. And that gets us to where we need to be with the bottom of that. Those are in but not built yet. Getting that put in. If we go over here, you need to go in. We are going to need some irrigation over here. You're in. Like that. And it doesn't look like I've missed any bits there. Awesome. Got gears. We're getting gears. We've got planks are slowly coming up as well. So that's good. Right. Pause the game for a second. H, 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 H for boom. H for boom, H for boom, H for boom. I think that was all of them. And off we go. Big boom. We like big booms. There we go. Let's speed up a bit now. Right, so that's going to be our new forest area. And that shows me that we need to do some irrigation of it. Or we need to look at holding some water up here. Although realistically, it's not going to stay irrigated, is it? So let's put in an irrigation pond. I mean, if I do... Let's pause. If I went from there, 10. Yeah, that should work actually. I think literally I could just go from there and do... I did 3 by 3 there. There would be a hole. I could fill that hole. How far is that? That's 12. I should irrigate the whole thing. And there's no reason why I couldn't put a sluice gate there to fill it. Yeah, we could put a platform there. Yeah. We need to put something there as well. Okay. There is a subtle flaw in my plan. It's not that subtle. There's a substantial flaw in my plan. But we can work around it. H for boom. H for boom. What we're going to need to do temporarily is reinstate this. Because I'm going to have to delete the this. Make it watertight. So I'm going to put that there. And then these are going to be terrain. And then we can put that back there. We can put a platform on the top of it. We can put path back there. Then we can reconnect it. Then what we can do is we can go platform there. Do it this way. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can do Forester there. Well, they can't quite reach into the corner, but we can just let spread happen. Because then the let's think about where you go. So actually what we'll maybe do is if I get rid of you, I put you there, you can't get the very corner. Okay. If I rotate you and put you there, it's even worse. If I put you there, you are okay. That'll work. So let's put a forester there. And then let's delete that and put the water dump there. Yeah. I guess we can't automate the water dump, but that's fine. And we want to do pine trees like that, and maple trees like that. And like that. Cool. All right, back over here. H for boom. We then need a staircase to get us to initially this level. So I'm going to guess the way we could do that. One way we could do that would be to put back a dirt block there. Maybe a level below it, actually. So much construction to do. Then go... I don't know if this is going to work, so I'm going to pause while I do this. You. Might need to open stuff up some more. That's not going to work because they have no access to get to stuff. You need that to be at least one of them, I think, so that I can then do that. That. And that leaves us quite a way short. Actually, we're there. Only 3 short. So what I could do is it's there. What's going on with the tunnel? Settings. They're the click level thing. Table tutorial. zoom, unlimited zoom is a new thing. Not sure what's going on there. Mod settings. Improve. Not sure. Anyway, what I'm going to do is tunnel. Tunnel. And you. And platform. And that should work. I've just had a thought. If bad water comes in here, this is going to wreck some of these trees. So we're going to move this down because bad water is coming out of here. So probably the easy way to do this, easy, trademark, is sling a bridge out here. And do we even need water to go out of there? Not really. So we could just levy this. And that should be fine, I think. Yeah, I think that should be fine. I mean, in theory now, that'll trap some water, so it acts as a bit of a buffer. Right, back over here. H for boom. H for boom. Staircase. La. This needs to be deleted and replaced with a double platform. And then staircase, staircase. And I might have sync. I think I am. Delete. Yeah. Delete. I guess that means we can move it forwards a bit. There. What am I doing? Good question. Well asked. There we go. So they will then be able to start putting in the tunnels underneath, which is why we've got all of this stuff here. Back over here. Right, this is in, so now we can remove this. Job's good. And then we want to start. So I think I said the next thing we wanted to do is deepen this. And I guess the first candidate for that is to remove this. So a couple of trees there. Not sure what this little underground area was with its dead trees, but anyway. So actually we don't need this thing that I built. You can, in fact, go away. There we go. And we will... What level? How far down do we need to go? Right, that level. So if I bring an tunnel across, so that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 6. Okay. So at the very least, we can coat that in triple explosives. And this in double explosives. Layer tool is doing my head in after the update. There we go. How are we looking over here? That's all been filled in. Awesome. That's getting built. Excellent. Logs. They've got logs. Okay. That's almost built. That could be being built. There we go. And then they have the supplies nearby to start tunneling away. And that's just going to take them ages to do. But if we can be attacking it from both ends, obviously that's going to be better. This guy is busy doing busy things. We're going to have that be open. Because that means less water is going to need to be dumped. Cool. We've got, yeah, nice solid log supply now. I actually think that maybe... Where do we have... We've got a log store there. I think we should put in... No. You're going to get moved to there. Come on, game. Don't crash. Thank you. Oh, you're paused. I'm going to unlock the large and or the underground pile, not the large underground pile. And we're going to get one of those in for logs. Because we've got standing trees now, so the sooner we get those cut, the better. Yeah, the other thing I would like to do, just because it will look nicer, is we're going to put that there. Right. And in they go. So we will need to have some path going on. And going to prioritize the outside. And I guess I need to prioritize a bit in the middle so that I can get path across to the outside. Because the outside is then going to be done with dynamite. So that we can cut and drop. Technique, I believe. That's just going to take ages, I think. Ripped out, please. Are we really 34 beavers short. Eek. Well then, let's throw in a few more houses. Seems like a sensible option. The other thing I would like to do, because we deleted them, is throw in those guys. Now this one uses plank. Now, this one uses logs. They both use logs. Now I've put two of the same thing. That'd be why. This one uses planks. This one we're going to put minimum priority. This one only uses logs. So we're just going to get that built for the well-being boost. Wondering what point 25 for a work speed boost. We get to 25. That doesn't flood, does it? I think we should try and do a bit of well-being, not manipulation, but just increasing. We need some extract. I get another one there. If I explode some of that out, I think I can. You're on obtain. Cool. I hooked up the scrap metal over here as well. How's this guy doing? He's getting there. He's getting there. Right, that's in. Awesome. I mean, this doesn't need to be as high as it is now, obviously. Where are we? Here we go. Come on, let's get this done, folks. You there, because I would like to get that explosives in so I can see if we can actually put in the other one there. I mean, it's a 5x5, isn't it? So it should fit. Question mark. Oh, there's a tree in the way. Get rid of you. What are we doing in the pits? Keep extending the paths. Back over to this one. They're not doing very much. Come back over here. Right. H for boom. Prioritize ripping out the tree. Also need to prioritize getting that made. B for copy. Come on, it's only an oak tree. It can't be that hard to rip out. Is the zip line in the way? I temporarily remove that. Yeah. Okay. That's annoying. Yeah. Right. Plan B. Detonate that. And we'll have 2 agoras at ground level. That'll work. Probably. Oh, another drought started. 22-day drought. Loads of water though. We are fine. We are fine. You should be an obtain. So the logs are close to that, so it can work. Those in. And then we can have 2 now help. We're already up to 23 because of this guy, I guess. How many planks is that? 400. Yeah, we're not going to rush to build that. Come on. Right. You there. You probably want to blast that out as well, but you know. You. Prioritize that. Awesome. And then if we did beaver statue, is everyone getting beaver statue? No one's getting beaver statue at the moment. Okay. Beaver statue. Are you there? But equally, we should probably then do decoration. Roof piece, that will get a whole load of them. Feather vein. That'll get a whole load of them. I don't know why. I mean, Scarecrow you would think should be on a farm, but Scarecrow, beaver statue, there and there. I know it's a bit cheesy, but we could do it with well-being boost, so there we go. Cool. We short of medical beds. Six medical beds and 11 incapacitated. So yes. Up the number of those, shall we? Right, back down here. How are we doing? More pathage. And I mean, the other benefit of doing this way is they can then get at the other bits from more locations. So that will kind of speed up the whole process anyway. And if we then cut down to the bottom, we can start putting in the bottom layer as well. But yeah, we now have 25 well-being, so hopefully our building score is going to go, our building work speed is going to go up, which will improve things. So that's not quite irrigated. That's annoying. That is annoying. I could, with how tall that is, last job, because I think I've been going for quite a while. There. There. Down to there. We could come in here. Put in some double floodgates that have a rule that nope, season equals temperate, set floodgate height to 0, save, season not equal temperate, set floodgate height to 2, save. My theory being that you could maybe do it a little bit higher than that. As it ends, water's still flowing through, so it'll catch some and hold it. That's the theory. It does mean we're not going to be able to get those planted, but I think what we'll do is we'll go with what's there. We'll stick you there. I don't have rules for you. But we'll come in ready to collect greater than 1, resume, save, ready to collect less than 1, pause, save, save and close. And I'll build some storage out here as well, and then we want to get rid of that so that they spread. How's that looking? Still going. Let's get those in, those in, those in. And I guess good. No, let's leave them for now, because I'm not sure what I want to do for supports. Because I think we're going to need some support in there. And well-being's up to 27 with a max of 28. Awesome. Probably throw in a few more easy things as well, couldn't we? But the layout's not great. We could do with reworking some things. Make some more space for stuff. Thinking... just set 2 to the gold one. That was from before, from a different save. Because that gives a boost as well. But that is going to be it for today, folks. Again, between videos, I will probably try and progress getting all of these in, so you're not waiting for lots of stuff to happen. So we can keep making progress. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and see you next time.